Hello learners, welcome back to another video. Now here we are going to see the same thing, JEE Mains January attempt shift 1. In that now we are going to go to questions 11 to 15. Till now we dealt with questions 1 to 5 and 6 to 10. The previous two videos, if you did not watch, you can just go through them. Fine. Now let's get started. Okay, let's get started. So here is question number 11. Fine. As I told you in my previous videos also, first let us read the question and understand which chapter is it coming from and what all we need to apply. This is something, your way of thinking should be like. If it is like this is one of my suggestions. Keep your way of thinking like this. Using the principal values of the inverse trigonometric functions, the sum of maximum and minimum values of 16 into secant inverse x whole square plus cosecant inverse x whole square is okay. So they're asking us to find out the maximum and minimum values first and then their sum. So first we need to find out the maximum value of this expression and the minimum value also. Fine. The maximum and minimum value we need to find out first. And after that we need to add them, and that's what the answer would be. Now here what all chapters could be involved. See, one thing is inverse trigonometry is definitely there. You can see it. Inverse trigonometry is there. Something related to that, if at least the basics of that is definitely involved. And they are speaking about maxima and minima. As soon as maxima minima comes into picture, okay, so you can think there could be derivatives coming into picture, like the first derivative and second derivative, that can happen. Or sometimes this might become a quadratic, and based on that you might have to do completion of square, etc, etc. So these are some thoughts which can come to your mind, and this will make sure that which track you need to take. Okay, now one straightaway approach which I tried and it kind of worked for this was guess method. Now what is this guess method? See, secant inverse x, it goes from 0 to pi, right? Minus pi by 2. I mean the output of secant inverse x. Okay, they're told principal values, so yeah, and the output of cosecant inverse x is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 minus 0. Okay, now you see definitely the maximum value of cosecant inverse x is pi by 2 and this one is pi. So it looks like if I'll put pi, if I'll make sure that secant inverse x is pi, that's when I could get the maximum value. It could work. I mean, like, you can just check. So let's say I'll put x as 1. Okay, I'll put x as 1. Whoa, why did that happen? Okay, uh, secant inverse minus 1, I'm sorry. If I'll put x as minus 1, if I'll put x as minus 1, yeah, if I'll put x as minus 1, what would I end up getting? Secant inverse minus 1 would be pi, and cosecant inverse minus 1 would be minus pi by 2, and like that, you can sort of like guess if you want to see. If I'll guess it, secant inverse minus 1 would be pi, so pi square plus this one would be minus pi by 2 whole square, so this would be pi square by 2. I'm sorry, pi square by 4. So 5 pi square by 4. And 16, if you'll multiply, this would become 16 into pi 4 ones are 4 4s, so 20 pi square. 20 pi square. Okay, this is a maximum. This is a maximum. Wherein, here I'm getting a pi and here I'm getting minus pi by 2. Perfect. Definitely this is the maximum because, squares are there. This is the maximum for sure. Now, how to get the minimum? How to get the minimum? Well, one guess is, both of these are equal kind of at 1 by root. I mean, when x is 1 by root 2, both of them give pi by 4. So why not try that? Okay, let put x as 1 by root 2. Put x as 1 by root 2. So what would happen? Secant inverse x is pi by 4 and this is also pi by 4. So this would be pi square by 16 and pi square by 16. So pi square by 8. So I'd get 2 pi square. So I'd get 2 pi square. That's what my minimum value would be. So sum of these two would be 22 pi square. Sum of these two would be 22 pi square. Okay. Just a second. Let me check the answer whether I'm right or wrong. Let me just check the answer. This was question 11, right? Did I do it right? Yeah, I got it right. I got it right. It is 22 pi square. It is 20. So I got it by guess. I got it by a guess. Okay, pure guess. This works sometimes. This does not work sometimes. Then what is the method? See, You can either convert secant inverse x to cosecant inverse x or cosecant inverse x to secant inverse x. How? See, secant inverse x plus cosecant inverse x is equal to pi by 2. This you get it from inverse trigonometry. Okay. So I am converting cosecant inverse x to secant inverse x. The reason is secant inverse x is 0 to pi by pi, you know, its output, and these fractions are there. So kind of I feel secant inverse x would be better. You can try cosecant inverse x if you wish. So write cosecant inverse x as pi by 2 minus secant inverse x. So my expression would be 16 into secant inverse x square plus pi by 2 minus secant inverse x whole square. Okay, now take secant inverse x as t. Take secant inverse x as t. Now see what you'll get. You'll get 16 into t square plus pi by 2 minus t whole square. You would get 16 into t square plus pi by 2 minus t whole square. That's what you would end up getting. Now what you have to do is, this is obviously a quadratic, right? If you'll expand this, okay, you'll get a quadratic expression, and then you need to do completing the square, and then based on that you can judge the maximum and minimum values. This is something which you guys need to do. If you'll expect, at least this is something which I expect you to do, okay? Because you guys are JEE Mains aspirants, JEE Mains. If you are aiming for success at JEE Mains, this is something which I expect you to do. Already I gave the answer for this question. It is option 2, but do it in this method and get the answer. This was a guess. It worked out, but it may not happen all the time. So this method will work. Okay. So yeah, just go with it and you would be done. You should get 22 pi square. Minimum value is the t belongs to 0 to pi. The range of t belongs to 0 to pi, and pi by 2 is not there. Based on that, you can just judge the values. Let's go to next question. Let f maps R to R be a twice differentiable function such that, okay, functional equations. It looks like functional equations is kind of a favorite topic for JEE Mains. I mean, like, whoa, there are some good number of questions coming up from functional equations, right? They're not giving the function directly, they are giving it as a functional equation. So f of x plus y is equal to f of x into f of y. This, as soon as you read this, you need to get the idea that the function is e power kx. The function is e power kx. F of x plus y equal to f of x into f of y. Yes, the function is e power kx. You need to know this. The function is e power kx. Fine. If you want to check, see, f of x plus y would be e power k into x plus y, and here it is e power kx into e power ky, which is e power kx plus ky, which is e power k into x plus y. So both are matching. Yes, it satisfies. You need to remember this. Fine. Whenever the function is something like this. Also, whenever f of xy is equal to f of x plus f of y, f of xy, if you get a function like f of xy is equal to f of x plus f of y, that means function is log x. Right? These are some of the things which I expect you to know. Fine, at least the standard ones. Now, it's a twice differentiable function such that f dash, I mean, like this, we got f of x is e power kx. Now f dash 0 is 4a, and f double dash x minus 3a into f dash x minus f of x equal to 0, and a is positive. Then the area of the region, this region they're asking for. F dash of 0 is 4a, so f dash of x would be, f dash of x is e power kx into k. Chain rule of differentiation. Acha, so what all chapters could this be? One thing is functional equations is there, and apart from that, little derivatives is there. I mean, you need to know what is derivative of e power x, and area. So definite integration also can come into picture. So this has functional equations and derivatives, and also apart from that you also have areas. So it has three topics kind of. It's a mix. So f dash of 0 is 4a, right? So put x as 0, so you would get e power k into e power 0 is 1, so k would be 4a. So k would be 4a. So if my function would be e power kx, which is e power 4ax. I won't put all the steps. You need to understand by listening to me. Okay. Now my function is e power. Now how to get the value of a? That's why they give the other equation, which is f double dash x. What would be f double dash x? F dash x would be e power 4ax into 4a. So it is 4a into e power 4ax, and f double dash x would be e power 4ax. 4a will be there. 4a into e power 4ax into another 4a. So that would be 16a square. 16a square into e power 4ax. So if I'll substitute everything in this, what would I end up getting? What would I end up getting is 16a square e power 4x. I'll just write the equation. Solving part you guys need to see. 3a into this, so minus 12a square into e power 4ax minus e power 4ax equal to 0. So you can take e power 4x common, you will get 4a square minus 1 equal to 0. A is plus or minus half, a is positive, so a is half. Now next you need to find out this area. This area you need to do it yourself. Okay, this area you need to do it yourself. If you want a hint, it's nothing but integral 0 to f of ax dx. Okay, a you will get as 1 by 2, so integral 0 to f of x by 2. So based on a you can decide the function and then do it. Do the rest and give the answer. I've almost done everything. Okay, the rest is something which you guys need to see. Why I'm leaving something for you guys is, if you'll just listen, you will feel that you understood it. But if you'll try to do the remaining part which I'm leaving, you will understand whether you understood the first starting part or not. Because without having clarity in this, you will think, why did f of x come this? Why is the f dash x like this? Like, you will start thinking, because if until and unless you will start working, try to put some steps on paper, it's not possible for you to, I mean, like, get until and unless you are very talented, you are super talented. If you're super talented, I don't think you even need this video. Maybe for revision you might need it, but it's way now next 13th question. The area of the region inside the circle, they gave a circle and a parabola. Very famous combination, circle and parabola. It's a famous combination, circle and parabola. So parabola and ellipse, sometimes they can come, and circle and ellipse, etc. But this is really famous. I mean, it comes very often. Right? The area inside the region. So obviously, since they are talking about areas, so a little of circles can come, a little of parabola can come, and a little of definite integration can come from area section of definite integration. But I think majorly this would dominate. Now let me plot a graph. Okay, for the circle, this is my origin, 0 comma 0, x and y. Okay, for the circle center is 2 root 3 comma 0. Let me take it as somewhere here, 2 root 3 comma 0, and radius is r square is 12, so r would be under root 12, which would be 2 root 3. Yeah, so radius is also 2 root 3, so the circle would be somewhere something like this. It would touch the origin. Yeah, sorry that this is not looking like a circle, but just adjust. This came out like Shinchan face, I guess. Fine. Now the parabola. Before I put parabola, I want to find out where do the circle and parabola meet. It's very simple, right? Put y square equal to 2 root 3x. So what would you get? Expand this. I won't write all the steps. So this would be x square minus 4 root 3x plus 2 root 3 whole square is 12 plus y square is 2 root 3x. Okay, 2 root 3x equal to 12. So 12 cancel. So x square, this x I forgot. So x square minus 2 root 3x, equal to 0. So it means x into x minus 2 root 3 is equal to 0. So definitely, parabola touches at x equal to 0 and x equal to 2 root 3. And straight away, okay, let me use some other color so that it will look good. So the parabola, it meets somewhere here and it goes like this and somewhere like this. Okay, now what they are asking in the question is the area of the region inside the circle and outside the parabola. So this region they are asking, this region, if I were to shade it, which color would look good? Green, I think, would do it. So this region they are asking, and this region. Obviously, they are symmetric about x-axis, right? So if you find out this area, if you find out the upper area, you can just do 2 into. Now how to find out the upper area? Upper area is nothing but, I'll use black here. Upper area is nothing but, you see, this is center of the circle, right? So this would be quarter of the circle. You see, this is quarter of the circle. What is area of quarter of the circle? You guys should do it. Area of quarter of circle, you guys should know it. Okay, total area is pi r square, so quarter would be pi r square by that, you guys should know. Next, So I need the this area. So this area is nothing but area of quarters, like area of the quarter circle and minus the area of parabola. How to find out area of this parabola? This capital A, this capital A. Only this part, okay? This part, this region of area under parabola. It's very simple. Right? Capital A is integral 0 to 2 root 3. This is y square, right? So y square is 2 root 3x. So this would be nothing but under root of 2 root 3 and then root x dx. Just find out this area. So quarter circle minus this area will give you the green shaded region and then multiply by 2 because it's there, and then you would get the answer. That's it. Again, I'm leaving something to you. You need to work a little, okay? You need to work a little. I mean, like there is a saying, right? No pain, no gain. So you need to take the pain of lifting your pen, opening your book, understanding what I did till now, write it down, and then continue from there, and then finish the sum and tell me the answer. Okay, sure. 14th question. Let the foci of hyperbola be 1 comma 14 and 1 comma minus 12. If it passes through the point 1 comma 6, then the length of its latus rectum is. Straight away question from hyperbola. No other topic is mixed. Okay, very straight, easy question from hyperbola. Easy question. See, guys, like one mistake which few of you do is you study 10, or you feel like if I study, let's say there are 30 topics in mathematics, you feel like if I'll study only 20 chapters thoroughly and go, that's enough. Now what can happen is from the 20 chapters which you studied, tough questions can come, and from the 10 chapters that you left, easy questions can come. So my sincere suggestion is, first come to a decent level in all the 30 chapters. After that, if you wish to pursue some good depth in any of the chapters, you can go on with that. Okay, you can go on with that. There's nothing wrong or there's no harm in that, but my sincere suggestion is do all the chapters at least to a decent level, because from the decent level also such easy questions can come. That's what I'm telling. That's a straight away question from hyperbola. If the let the foci of the hyperbola be this, so let's take a graph. Obviously for conics, graph would make a decent sense. I think black should be good. Is this much enough? Let's see. Graph would come out a little small, but yeah, it's a rough figure, so I think it should work out well. Now, the foci of the hyperbola are 1 comma 14 and 1 comma minus 12. So what is the transverse axis? On the transverse axis only the foci lie, right? So what is the transverse axis? The transverse axis is x equal to 1, which is nothing but a line parallel to y axis. This is x equal to 1. X equal to 1. Let's say one of my point is, let me change the color. Yeah, let's say one point is here, 1 comma minus 12, and another point is, sorry for that. Let's say one point is here and another point is 1 comma 14, a little bit ahead. Should not be symmetric because it's one should be here and one should be a bit more. Now next, what they're telling, okay, if it passes through 1 comma 6, see the third point they gave 1 comma 6, 1 comma 6. Okay, first let me draw the parabola. What can be the rough diagram of the see, these are the foci, so obviously the parabola will be like, the hyperbola will be like this. The hyperbola will be like this, and like this. Okay, next, this graph, see, if you'll one good way of seeing things conics is graph. Like if you can master this art of seeing things to graph, right, you will have a good clarity, because algebraically seeing everything could be a little difficult. Now they're telling it passes through the point 1 comma 6. Now see the beauty, it passes through 1 comma 6, so obviously 1 comma 6 must be this point. 1 comma 6 must be this point. This point must be 1 comma 6. Why? Because it lies on the transverse axis, right? Hyperbola meets transverse axis at 2 points, and definitely one of the points must be 1 comma 6, and it's a positive side, so that's why it is 1 comma 6, and this point is going to be 1 comma 14. This point is going to be 1 comma 14, and this point is going to be 1 comma minus 12. Now what will be the center of the hyperbola? The center of the hyperbola is nothing but midpoint of the foci, right? Midpoint of the foci is the center, so the what am I getting? The midpoint is 1 comma 1. Okay, 1 comma 1, right? Oh, why isn't it working? Why isn't it? Yeah, It's working now. So 1 comma 1 would be somewhere here. Okay, 1 comma 1 would be somewhere here. So that's my 1 comma 1. Okay, so this is my midpoint. Now see, this is my center. Okay, now what is the distance between two foci? Distance, see, obviously the, since it is like this, okay, it is the equation of the hyperbola would be something like x minus h whole square by a square minus y minus k whole square by b square equal to minus 1. This is how the equation of hyperbola is going to be, because it is like this. Okay, if it had it been like this, then it would have been is equal to plus 1. If you are someone from south states, I think you might be more familiar with like y square by, I mean, y minus k whole square or b square minus x minus h whole square by a square is equal to plus 1. This is something which you might be more familiar. Fine. So the foci for this, I mean the distance between the two foci anyways is obviously 2be, like the distance, because it will be h comma k plus k minus b and h comma k plus b. So the distance between two foci will be 2be, and the distance here, the distance in this case 2be is equal to, what is the distance between these two? Under root 1 minus 1 square plus 14 plus 12 square. So that would be 26. So be is nothing but 13. BE is nothing but 13, right? B is 13. And what would be the distance between center and any of the foci? That is nothing but the distance between center and any of the foci. Yeah, this center, black one, 1 comma 1. The center and any of the foci. No, let me take this. The distance between center and this vertex, the point where the hyperbola meets, that would be nothing but b, this distance. It didn't come out good. If I were to zoom it a little, see. If I were to zoom this section a little, see. This point would be 1 comma 6, and this point would be 1 comma 1, the center of the hyperbola. Fine. Now this distance will be equal to b. This distance will be equal to b. So what is b? Under root 1 minus 1 whole square plus 6 minus 1 whole square, which would be nothing but b would be 5. B would be 5. Now b is 5. So since b is 5, e would be 13 by 5. E would be 13 by 5. Now how to find out a? A is nothing but, to find out a square is equal to b square into e square minus 1. A square is equal to b square into e square minus 1. You will get a. And what is the length of lattice rectum formula for this parabola? Generally, had it been like this, the right and left one, then the formula would be 2b square by a, but here it is 2a square by b. Here it is 2a square by b. So do the rest. The rest is your job. Don't expect me to spoon feed you everything. I'm already doing some enough amount of spoon feeding. So the rest is yours. I mean, if you do, you're the one who would get benefited. Okay. See, I'm doing these videos. One of the purposes, obviously, to help you guys. But my major purpose is that I would understand the concept better, because once I explain something on YouTube, it means that I need to do enough research. I need to work it out. I need to put in some effort before I come to teach you guys. So by teaching you, I'm benefited. Okay, my subject understanding, etc., increases. Okay, because I'm lazy to study myself. But if I were to make things on YouTube, which would parallelly help you guys also, I get a little motivated to, okay, let's do it. Now question number 15. Yeah, this is a real, whoa, this is just a big one. I mean, like, you'll understand it. I'm only gonna do a little, but this one is going to have some good enough entertainment. Okay, what's the question? Sigma r runs from 1 to n, and tr is this, okay, summation. And so this is a question from series, like this is a series, right? Summation, whenever it's there, it's a series. If commas are there, then it's a sequence. And we have a series, and then they're asking limit extends to infinity. Sigma r runs from 1 to n, 1 by tr. I know one way. There could be an easier way. I'll just tell you whatever I figured out. So see, first I need to find out tr. Okay, they have given in summation till n. So what does it mean? What does it mean? What does this equation mean? Stay focused, guys. Otherwise, you will not understand this. Stay focused. What does this mean? Is t1 plus t2 and so on till tn is equal to this. What is this? 2n minus 1 into 2n plus 1 into 2n plus 3 into 2n plus 5 by 64. Now I want summation till I want to find out nth term. Okay, I can only first find out nth term. Based on that, I can find out rth term, etc., etc. Now, how to find out nth term is in this summation, in place of n put n minus 1. In this summation, in place of n put n minus 1. So what would I get is t1 plus t2 and so on till tn minus 1. In this also there will be a tn minus 1 plus tn, right? Before n, that's what would get. So in the RHS, put in place of n, put n minus 1. So 2 into n minus 1 minus 1. So it would be 2n minus 3. 2 into this would be 2 into n minus 1 plus 1. So this would be 2n minus 2 plus 1, which would be 2n minus 1, and the next one would be 2n plus 1, and the next one would be 2n plus 3 by 64. Now subtract these two. If you will subtract, all the terms will get cancelled. Only tn will remain. I won't show each and every step, guys. You need to see things yourself. I won't show each and every step. So in these two terms, if I'll subtract, like, upper term minus lower term, you see what are all common. 2n minus 1, 2n plus 1, 2n plus 3 by 64. I can take common. 2n minus 1 into 2n plus 1 into 2n plus 3 by 64. If I'll take common, what would I get? What would I remain with? 2n plus 5 minus 2n minus 3. So 2n plus 5 minus of 2n minus 3 minus 2n and plus 3. So 5 plus 3 should be 8. It would be 8. So my nth term is going to be, it is going to be 8 ones are 8 eights are, so 2n minus 1 into 2n plus 1. This question you need to leave it in exam. If you'll keep doing this, first of all, always target easy and short questions. Next, moderate and short questions. Like, I mean, I cannot say, it's up to you. If you're getting a question, just go with it, right? I mean, in mains, getting a question is not easy. I've been through it. I wrote JEE Mains, right? So I can understand it. So this is Tn. I got the nth term, but we are talking in terms of Tr. So just write R as n. Okay, I won't do the entire thing. So just try in place of n. This is nth term. Okay, this is nth term. If you guys want, I'll write this nth term. So rth term will be what? In place of n, just put r. That's it, right? In place of n, just put r. So this would be 2r minus 1 into 2r plus 1 into 2r plus 3 by 8. Now, but see the twist here. Here they are talking about 1 by tr. So what would be 1 by tr? 1 by tr. I'll only explain after this. You guys need to do it yourself. 1 by tr would be reciprocal of this, right? 8 by 2r minus 1 into 2r plus 1 into 2r plus 3. Now, how can you apply summation to this? Summation sigma 1 r runs from 1 to n. Limit n tends to infinity is next case. How can you apply summation to this? Okay, so this question involves a little of limits also. How can you apply summation to this? You cannot apply summation to this directly. Then what you need to do? Write it as partial fractions. So in this partial fractions chapter is also there. Partial fractions is also involved. Write it as a by 2r minus 1 plus b by 2r plus 1 plus c by 2r plus 3. Now find out ABC. You'll get a pattern. You'll now find out ABC. Okay, find out ABC. This you need to do. I'm not gonna do after this. Partial fractions is your job. After that, before you apply sigma, also group them properly. Group them and do it. Then you will get a pattern. You will get a series which would get cancelled. And then after that, ultimately you can apply limit n tends to infinity. So this is a real big question which you need to leave it, which you had to leave in the exam. Fine. Obviously, if you were talented enough to do it very fast, yes, excellently, you can go on with it. But my suggestion would be to leave it or keep it at the end when you are not getting anything and you got idea for this. Fine. So how I got the ideas was, see, we need to find out rth term first. How can I find rth term first? Nth term, summation till n terms and summation till n minus 1. Just subtract, you get tn and then make tr 1 by r tr. So I cannot apply summation to this directly, so I need to use partial fractions. Again, create a pattern, cancellation, and then after that apply sigma and then limit n tends to infinity. So these are the things that are involved in this. Definitely a little big one. No, not an easy one. Getting these ideas in the exam is not easy. I know it. So in max, on an average, if you do 10 to 12 questions, I would say it's decent, because the questions level is a bit good. But I mean, it would be easier to get marks in chemistry and physics. That's what I've seen. So, but still, in max, that means what, if it is difficult for people to score marks in max, means if you can score better marks in max, you would be a bit ahead, right? Because others are not able to do, you're able to do. So try to do easy questions of physics and chemistry and max, and a bit ahead in max if you have the knack in mathematics, the talent in mathematics. Okay, then that's it. See you in the next video. Fine. I think this one went a little bit more. This one, yeah, yeah, it's 30 minutes. Last two videos were 20 minutes. Okay, then. Thank you.